What if I told you that every time you blame yourself for a mistake, you are actually trapping your own growth? That guilt isn't helping you, it's holding you back. Today, I'll show you how mistakes can become your greatest teachers, not your punishment. Imagine this. You do something that seems like a small mistake, and immediately you start blaming yourself. Your heart races, your mind spins. It feels like everything is falling apart. But mistakes are not verdicts. They are signals, if you know how to read them. Today, I'll share stories, insights, and practical exercises to help you stop self-blame and start understanding what really happens when we make mistakes. I want to tell you a story. When I was a teenager, I often helped my parents in their store with my grandfather. One day, I accidentally knocked over a box of goods. It spilled all over the floor. My first reaction was, "Oh no, I'm terrible. Everything is ruined. Everyone will be angry." My grandfather came over, looked at me, and said, "Olivia, look at it differently. This isn't the end of the world. You saw it happen, you can fix it, and you're already acting. Guilt won't help here." I didn't understand the depth of these words at the time. Years later, I realized he was teaching me to see a mistake as a signal, not as a catastrophe. Mistakes show where attention is needed, where there's room for growth. In life, I've met many people who live their whole lives in self-blame. Every slip-up is a tragedy. They don't see that a mistake is information, not a definition of who they are. And often, this is exactly what keeps them stuck, afraid to act, afraid to live fully. Here's something most people never realize. The way you react to a mistake tells more about you than the mistake itself. I'm going to show you a simple, practical way to shift from guilt to understanding, and it can change everything in how you live your life. 1. Mistake your value. We often equate our actions with our worth. For example, being late to a meeting doesn't mean you're disorganized, it means your planning needs adjustment. Guilt paralyzes. When you blame yourself, your brain gets stuck in negativity, decisions become emotional, reactions slower, mistakes become a prison, not a lesson. 3. A mistake is a signal. Signals where to adjust your course. Analyze. What happened? Why did it happen? What can I do differently next time? Guilt doesn't give answers. It only creates fear. Why we blame ourselves. Childhood and upbringing. Parents often respond with anger or criticism. Fear of social judgment. Perfectionism. I must be flawless. 5. Psychological technique that works. When you feel self-blame coming, pause and say out loud, "This happened, I see it, I learn, I move forward." A simple phrase, but it breaks the cycle of guilt. Here's a simple exercise. Take a notebook and write down 3 mistakes that worry you, then write what lesson or signal each mistake gave you. Ask yourself, what can I do differently without blaming myself? Do this every evening for a week, and you'll notice a shift in how you relate to yourself. Mistakes stop being catastrophes and become tools for growth. When you do the exercise, it's important not just to write down the mistakes and lessons. Try to pause and notice the feelings that come with each mistake. What did you feel in the moment things went wrong? Fear, shame, anger? Feel these emotions, but don't judge yourself for them. Just observe them, like a scientist observing an experiment. Mistakes reveal not only our actions, but also our attitude toward life, ourselves, and others. For example, if you blame yourself heavily over a small mishap, that's a signal. Somewhere inside, you're demanding the impossible from yourself. If you let go of the mistake quickly and look for a solution, that's also a signal. Your inner resilience is strong. Ask yourself, what does this mistake reveal about my approach to life? Which old beliefs worked against me? What can I change in the future to be gentler with myself and more effective? Sometimes it's worth going back to an old mistake you constantly remember and looking at it as a teacher. My grandfather often said, "Mistakes are hints, not verdicts." I remember him showing me an old school notebook with my failed drawings. I was embarrassed, but he said, "Look at this. It's your path. The mistakes here are your growth. You are learning to see and do better. I remember those words to this day, and every time I make a mistake, I hear his calm voice in my mind. Think about it. Every mistake is not just a lesson, but also a mirror of your inner strength. People who can see mistakes without self-blame often make bolder decisions, act faster, and build healthier relationships. And here's what I want you to do right now. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine you've made a mistake. Feel it, but don't judge yourself. Ask yourself, what is this mistake trying to show me? How can I grow through it? Notice how your perspective changes. A sense of ease, clarity, acceptance. This is a small step, but it's exactly what separates those who get stuck in self-blame from those who use mistakes as a bridge to themselves and to life. I want to share another story that taught me a lot. A few years ago, I was working on a small project for a client. It was an important task, and I really wanted everything to be perfect. But at one point, I made a mistake. I miscalculated the delivery deadlines for materials. When the project started to get delayed, my first thought was, it's all ruined, I've failed, the client will be upset, I'll lose their trust. I remember sitting at my desk, holding my head in my hands, feeling the anxiety growing inside me. But then I remembered my grandfather's lesson. Mistakes are signals, not verdicts. I decided to act. I called the client honestly, explained the situation, offered an alternative, and took responsibility for the solution. In that moment, I realized how important your approach to a mistake really is. Instead of hiding, blaming myself, or panicking, I took concrete steps. And you know what? The client appreciated the honesty. The project was completed successfully, and in the end, we even strengthened the trust between us. This experience showed me guilt doesn't fix anything. What matters is clarity, action, and honesty with yourself and others. If I had drowned in self-blame, I wouldn't have taken a single right step. The mistake itself didn't ruin the situation. It gave me a chance to show responsibility, strength, and maturity. Think about it. How many opportunities do you lose when you blame yourself instead of taking action? The mistake itself isn't destructive. What's destructive is how you respond to it. Guilt is a burden we carry ourselves. A mistake is a reflection of life, a chance to see where to go next. By stopping self-blame, you begin to see. Every slip is a lesson, every situation is experience, every reaction is an opportunity for growth. Life isn't valuable because we never make mistakes. It's valuable because we learn to move forward through them. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe, because tomorrow a new story comes out with another practical exercise to help you work with mistakes in relationships, work, and in yourself. Enjoy every moment in life. We are here to learn, to grow, and to experience. Every mistake, every success, every quiet moment, all of it is part of the journey. Embrace it and let life teach you what it came here to teach.